Little overview on this car. It's '05 E500 Sport, not a E55, E500. It's got the M113 5.0. It's been a good daily. It's had it for, I'm gonna say like, man, I don't remember, like 2 years. A little overview. I am gonna record a better, what's it called? Once the daylight comes out. Just I got off of work right now. It's currently 4 a.m. Once the sun's up, we'll record an overview outside of the vehicle. Fucking with the age of this vehicle. There we go. We're officially at 200K. Yeah, I just jinxed myself. My screen is flickering and the light just turned off too. As you can see, the screen's getting brighter. Not sure what's going on right there. And the dome light just turned off. And hopefully it's just the alternator. Hopefully it's not the battery as well, or the battery itself, because those are pretty pricey, a little expensive. All right, how's it going, guys? So today, doing an overview on the car, my W211 E500. Well, it's not much to say. From that first video, I had just hit 200,000. It's been a couple months since then. It's been about like 3 or 4 months. Since then, I've done quite a few things actually to the car. I've done a very rough chrome delete. We did it on the window seals here, as well as the bottom chrome trim. But besides that, the car's been completely stock. I've done K&N air filter, cat pack exhaust, and it has a 2.7-inch X pipe. That's the shop ran out of materials and they had to run that. But secondary cats have been deleted, obviously. So all the way back after the secondary cats, it's fully straight pipe now. I did have some Para 1320 mufflers in the rear, but they were really quiet. They really did their job though. So I'm gonna be using those for another build on this page. But yeah, been lagging on the YouTube videos lately. But here we are now, better late than never. These are newer style C-Class, like C350 coupe, AMG package style wheels. As you can tell, they aren't the best. They've got a little curb rash, the previous owner. But I've done drilled and slotted rotors, but I've kept the stock diameter size. So these are still 312 millimeter rotors, not 330s like the E550s, and the caliper's still stock. This is a sport package. I do have the same pair in the rear, but these were off another car. These were painted black and I repainted them. Unfortunately, they did not come out as I thought, and I actually broke the emblem, unfortunately. So this whole pair, this is just a temporary setup right here. These two are gonna be gone soon. And the bumper here, as you can tell, has the pick and pull markings. This was that was a quick just, you know, just slap it on, not have no bumper. Check it out, you guys on the bikes. But that was just a quick, you know, just throw the bumper on, just so I wouldn't be running no bumper. Yeah, the bumper is not in the best conditions. This side is not that bad, but it does have this little gap here, and you try pushing it in, it just comes back out. I'm not sure if the mounting brackets are messed up, but I don't want to mess with it. I'm thinking about upgrading that to the newer 550 AMG style, or getting a custom bumper that looks more like the newer E-classes where they have like the slit right here. That's just an idea, and I just want to do some performance parts first. But here's the interior. I just vacuumed it, literally just vacuumed it right now, so it was like perfect. I was like, you know what, let's just showcase it. You can tell tengo mi chamarra right there. Excuse my Spanglish, I am Hispanic. But yeah, it's pretty there. But as you can tell, they're fucked. So ahí los voy a dejar. Let's look at the front. As you can tell, the chrome trim on this side looks pretty good. It came out better on this side, not gonna lie. Shout out to my boy Impulsive Tints, and I also want to give a shout out to Benz Repair. They've been really putting this thing together for me. They source me all a bunch of parts and shit. You know, here's the interior. I do have a CD package from Mercedes that I found at a pick and pull vehicle. No, there's another color wood. It's a darker trim. I personally prefer that side, so I might swap it over to that. And I believe these should just come right off, so I might just swap that all over. I got black interior because a lot of these 500s come in that ugly tan interior, and I got really thankful. But as you can tell, my trim fell off the other day. Thank you to my girlfriend for that. Sorry about that. And here's these are for my high beams. I'll be swapping these over to LEDs. The connectors on this, these do have they're not canvas. I think they're canvas. Basically, it stops it from throwing codes. But the plugins are a little too bigger than the harness on the Mercedes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and what's it called, with the grinder, hit them with the grinder and grind them down so they could fit. But as you can see, I do have a cheap Apple CarPlay setup that connects to the aux, so I don't lose any audio quality. I believe this was packaged with the Harman Kardon. I'm sorry if you guys could correct me on that. I'm not sure, but the speakers do sound excellent. So yeah, that's pretty much the car. This car has just hit like about 206,000 miles. As you can tell, this car is decently taken care of. I just replaced this front bumper. I did the E63 AMG front. As you can tell by the slits, the slots. About that. The trim pieces right there, I have them in the trunk. I'm thinking about painting them black so they can match the black housing lights and the black tint. So I'm gonna have those wrapped by Impulsive Tints again, just like I did the sides. Thinking about the front grille, but everybody tells me that it kind of looks pretty sick, the offset of the chrome. But yeah, the black housing, as you can tell, I got LEDs for the DRLs, and the main lights I need to swap them over. I'm thinking about either doing swapping them over to LEDs, the canvas ones, so they won't throw codes in the Mercedes system with the headlights and all that. As well, those are the xenon headlights. I've been having issues with this one right here. This one's like kind of dimming out. This one I replaced the bulb with the Philips. It's pretty bright. It's almost as bright as an LED, but I might swap both of them over to LEDs, or might just replace that one with the Philips as well. But yeah, the car's still all complete. Thinking about getting the front splitter on. I do have BC Racing coilovers in the rear. They're adjustables, but the shocks, I replaced them because I forgot what side blew up. I think this side blew up first, and then the right coilover was all like floppy, and they ended up leaking all the fluid out. So I swapped over one of the sides with BC Racing, with stock shock. The shocks are now the stock shocks that come on these cars. They offer part out. Again, shout out to Benz Repair for that. We had issues with the BC Racing coilovers shocks. They both went out. This car, when I did first get it, when I traded it for my CLK 430, it did come with those. So I'm not sure if it was a combine of my fault and previous owners that may have driven this car over potholes a little too rough, popped those shocks. But anyways, that's all good. The fronts, I did get the Arnott front coilovers. It's non-adjustables. They're just good OEM plus replacements. But I'm thinking about throwing the BC Racing back on. I just gotta grab them from the garage and set the dampening and all the riding height like parallel to each other, because when I had them on, the car was like kind of lopsided. When I took them off, they're not adjusted right. I feel like I talk too much. But yeah, this is 205,000 miles now and going up, because this is my daily driver now. I have a project that is at the shop, and life kind of gets in the way, and it's already high mileage anyways. And I have the E550 updated taillights, or I guess E63s. They have the same thing. They're both the same way. But yeah, and I did get this carbon fiber. It's a hydro dipped, so it's not real carbon fiber, but kind of brings in the rear end a little bit. Once I get the AMG rear bumper, should look a little nicer, and I could throw a little diffuser. And then I'll bring out the rear more. The rear needs some work. The front's almost complete, just needs a splitter. My plans for this is throwing it, because it is a 500. As you can tell, the emblem was removed. This is not the stock trunk either. I had issues with my other trunk, and thankfully Ben's Repair had this trunk for me. But yeah, this car has a lot to come. I want to make it an E500 compressor. I do want to throw a compressor in there, but only time will tell. Let me show you guys the inside again from this side. It does need some work inside too. As you can tell, it's just today when I was vacuuming, I realized that this stuff is coming off the adhesive, and the roof unfortunately is not black, and the visors are like sticky or something. I'm not sure. So I am going to be swapping the headliner to do black, and when I do that, I'm remove the seats because this one has a really bad tear. Unfortunately, from wearing Rock Revival pants, has these, the buttons tear into the seat. The seat did not look like this when I got the car about 2 years ago. It was like slightly ripped and it just opened up over time. But yeah, we're gonna swap all this to black. And the screen, I am gonna get a CD mount so that I can sit down there and I can take it off the double-sided tape. But here's the inside. As you can see, 205,396 as we sit right now. Overall, it's pretty good interior. I got floor mats, Pennzoil, shout out. The tinted sunroof. Well, yeah, this is the overview in the car.